This episode of Chops is brought to you by Sight Reading Factory.
Sight Reading Factory generates virtually infinite music for students to sight read with customizable difficulty levels to give them exactly what they need. Sheet music is generated on the spot for your ensemble, and individual parts with correct transpositions are sent to students' devices. Sight reading with an ensemble has never been easier.
Okay, Jack, what if it created a rhythm and cut time? 2 quarter notes, 2/8 notes, and a quarter rest. How would that go?
Probably something like this.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Peterson.
And I'm Jack Hinkle.
Welcome back to Chops Podcast, where we talk about knowing your students, knowing your content, and knowing your teaching. Welcome, everyone. Today it is
Another 2-hour delay day.
It's cold-uary.
It's cold.
We live in northern Indiana, and we had a 2-hour delay today because Indiana was in the national championship. Oh, no.
No.
It's
That's not the official.
because it was cold.
You think those superintendents have a group chat going
Oh,
on? They're like, hey,
I
I'll do it if you do it.
know.
I'll do it if you do it.
Yes.
We in, boys? We in?
Yeah. Where are we landing, boys?
Yeah, so we had a later start today. I mean, it was legit, though. It was like
was cold.
negative 18-degree wind chill or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going to get colder this week. It's what they say. It's what they say. So, yeah, it's sometime in January, but it's just constantly dark and constantly cold. We'll let you know when we think it's March. I don't even know if it's worth looking at a calendar anymore. Is it light out after 6 yet? Nope, then I don't care.
No, time change isn't for a while, so.
It's just darkness. Hello.
I was teachers out there, I'd be interested to know, like, what is the reaction to 2-hour delays? Is it like, yeah, or again, or snow day? Like, how does that fall?
Or why do we get an e-learning day? This is ridiculous. I want a day off.
Right. Why can't it just be like it used to be?
Just the good old days back when we had the phone chain and we just had I've never did phone chain.
I did phone chain.
That stinks. You have to call somebody else.
Someone calls you, and then you have to call the next person. You have to keep going until a person picks up.
I just feel like my phone goes off of like 8 alerts all at once, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Snow day.
No, you and I were talking yesterday, and you're like, well, there it is.
We were on the phone. That's true. We were on the phone. We were talking about how I'm like, man, I really need some rehearsal time this week for the band's going to Purdue. And then boop, 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 boop.
Then I looked
6778. Hey, this is Mr. Dan Funson here from Concord Schools. Parent Square. Hey, this is Mr. Dan Funson from Concord Schools. Email. Hey, this is Mr. Dan Funson from Concord Schools. I get it. Okay.
And then the owl from Harry Potter showed up, and I was like, wow, look at that. No 2-hour delay. Well, hocus pocus that. Let's go.
Through the fireplace.
Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. You've got a 2-hour delay, Harry. Yeah, it's that time of year. So, speaking of things that can just grind our gears, we're talking about Ragebait and Joybait today.
Well, why don't you clue the listeners in that are not in the adolescent field of Ragebait?
Yeah, if you've never heard the word Ragebait, you clearly work with adults, and we're happy for you.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe
work with immature adults.
Does the student vernacular enter your vernacular, like, naturally?
Yeah. Is Ragebait though? Is it?
I think that's like
it's a
very
student thing, student teacher.
centric.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I use that word, unfortunately, more. I
Yeah.
start saying cooked. I need to be careful because that gets in there, and I probably don't sound as professional as I could. So Ragebait is exactly what it sounds like. It's people doing stuff to bait you into being raged. Otherwise known as trolling if you're more from the 2010 era. It's the same concept, but it's Ragebait. And students are really good at this stuff. And we've talked about not taking the bait, but I feel like that was like a more broad thing, and Ragebait is like more specific.
Because Ragebait is intentional.
And it's targeted. It's targeted toward you. You're the target.
It's a dart. It's a poison dart of verbal means.
Right. For example, if I wanted to like target Steve with Ragebait, I would just start like blowing up Kentucky.
Right.
Right? That would be like
Exactly.
which our colleagues have done from time to time.
Right.
Right. And I'm not going to do that because I have no horse in that race.
Sure.
But that is an example the listeners could go into.
Right. If I Ragebaited you, Jack,
Go for it.
then I would have to like say things that you're interested in outside of. Well, I guess there's not. So
No, Nice. That's a good one.
Was that one?
That's a good
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I need to go build a life when I leave here.
Oh, Jack has a life. Don't
I
kid you.
So students find ways to rage bait teachers constantly, and I feel like some teachers know they're being rage baited. I think some teachers don't know they're being rage baited. That would be my guess.
Absolutely true. Absolutely, tootingly positive.
And I think it's kind of fun if you know you're being rage baited.
Yes.
Because you can mess with it back, right?
Yes.
And there are just so many opportunities. For example, you show up to your class you're about to teach, and you're like, all right, guys, get your iPads out. And the kids say, mine's dead. That's like Rage Bait 101, right? And you can like crash out on the kid. You can do whatever. Possible counter tactic, you go, okay, show me your iPad. And then they're like, oh, actually, it's charged. Sorry about that. Mistake there.
Gum! Sorry.
That was like so.
That's
that was like so specific.
I know.
I know exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's yeah.
But that's all. Yeah, that's not even my language. But
You
it's
just rage baited me like
right.
internally. Okay. But that's like an example of doing that because kids know they should have it charged, and it's like kind of genius, like to their credit, because there's not much you could do as the teacher if you like actually were like baited by that rage bait. You can say, well, you can charge it, but like there's no battery that's going to be left. You don't have spare iPads probably. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to like combat that if you're not in the know. Am I making sense? Are you with me on this or not? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was just trying to think of, well, that happens every day.
Every day. Multiple times a class period.
It's not charged. And let's go through the different stages of rage bait takers. Okay? Hey, Mr. P. Yo, Mr. P. My iPad's dead. What? You sick individual! Seriously! You call yourself a student? You're coming to me with that iPad? You want a piece of this? No way! Get out! That would be.
That was Steve today, about 2 hours ago. You should have seen him. He already got the written write-up from his principal. Gosh, could you imagine? Public today, WNDU News at 6. Local Concord teacher rage baited. Crashes out on student.
Fell for it.
Multiple accounts charged.
Okay. Obviously, that was a bit extreme. But what if we did like, seriously? It's like every day you come into my class, Jack, and your iPad isn't charged. And that's your responsibility. I have my computer. Why don't you have yours?
So, okay, this is good. So you just went like 100% was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That was like what, like a 70% rage bait response?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're working down. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Mr. P, my iPad's dead.
Wow. Shocking. Just like your personality. But
Ding!
Got him! Hey, great job. Because it's only the second time this week, and last time it was 7 days out of 5. Wow, look at you.
Look at you.
Look at you. Baby steps, huh? Okay, can I get you a charger to help out with that?
Notice the intermittent sarcasm that when placed well can be used very effectively, depending on your student. Hashtag know your kids. Okay, and let's do what's like the authentic Steve Peterson response. Hey, yo, Mr. P, my iPad's dead.
That's a statement. I use that one quite a bit because it's like an implied help me, but that's a little, I don't like how like presumptuous that is. And like they're coming into me like, you're going to give me something.
My expectation is one charger.
Here's my demand.
I will not say please.
And I'm just going to say, my iPad's dead. No. Then I'll say, that's a statement.
Yep. Try again.
Try again. Do you have a charger I could borrow? Okay, let's look on top of my desk. You see one? Sure, you can use that one right there. Make sure I get it back at the end of class. That's it.
That was genius. I liked how you did that.
100%,
80 or like 70, just like narrowing it down. That's good because I bet all those listeners just like had some teacher in their mind. They're like, oh yeah, that's them. That's that person. Okay. Yep. That sounds like them.
Well, and then you had yourself in your mind.
Yep. And you have
Right?
yourself in your mind. You're thinking like, where do I fall in this part?
Right.
No, that's real.
No, we have a situation like where all the students are on iPads every day at Aspire, and that is their chief way of communicating and getting work done. We do have one classroom iPad available, but it kind of messes up our system of communication and parameters and just helping everybody be successful if that student iPad remains with a staff person. And so it kind of mixes it up a little bit. And we have a ton of chargers, not as many as we used to, shocking, but well,
they're spray painted hot pink, so you'll know where they are.
I think we're going to go to the bathroom like key, gas station bathroom key lock, like put a big honking piece of wood on it, or a Barbie doll or something like that. But yeah, dead iPads, the iPads that are dead that won't charge, iPads that are charged at 3 and then blink out again. The charger doesn't work. I don't have my iPad, so yeah, you could go so many different ways, and I think it's actually kind of fun to come up with the different ways that you could respond to it.
Shocking.
Right? I think that you could, because it's a puzzle. Like some
We're
people
talking about Ragebait, responding to Ragebait.
Yes.
Oh, I agree. Because it's the student tossing you a softball,
and you can step right into that and lay into that softball and try to get out of the park, which is like almost impossible. Or you could let it zip by, or you could whiff on it and like laugh about it. But of course, it depends on the student.
Yes.
And it depends on their history of like how often this has been going on.
And it depends on you, like what you're comfortable with. I mean, you may
Right.
be a teacher, you're just like, I'm shutting that down. I don't want to deal with it. But for Steve, he kind of likes to take a crack at it and see what happens.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, even in the band setting and Aspire, be like, Mr. P, I forgot my iPad. Okay, thanks for letting me know. What do you want me to do? Did you ask for something? I just
being proactive.
Congratulations, you didn't bring it. So giving that kind of response is this kind of, I mean, come on. If they don't have their iPad, you have like limited choices for them to do the rest of the class. So they know the gig and who's going to school these days. They are, not me.
Not
okay,
us.
So bring your iPad, bring it charged, bring a charger. Think ahead the night before, but it happens. And what is your response, Jack?
That's a great question, Steve. Depending on the student, obviously changes. But, for example, I am a teacher that will tend to use self-deprecating humor. And that is a tool that can invite rage bait. Shocking.
For example,
I tell my students that every time they're doing something wrong or whatever, let's just like a couple more gray hairs popping out. Yeah, you're looking at them. You're seeing them.
yeah.
They're coming in strong. My ripe old age of 30. And so I use that often, and it's a way that I get my point across, but I kind of keep it lighthearted. I'm like, you guys are ticking me off, and it's moving slow, but it's kind of funny. So obviously, I'm okay throwing that stuff out there.
Okay.
And there are students that will like throw that back at me, and they'll talk about the gray hairs and like rage bait me. Now, obviously, that's like a different thing, because that if they're doing that, they're probably kind of in.
Yeah.
And that will be something that I address differently with each kid. I usually don't have a problem with it, but it's something that they'll throw a zinger in, and I'm like, do I respond? And it's not like I'm mad about it, or do I try and throw a zinger back, or do I ignore it? The most classic one for me, I'm sure this has crossed the listener's mind if you have never met me, but Hinkle rhymes with tinkle. And the students love to call me Mr. Tinkle. When I taught 5th grade orchestra, like every time, actually with that group, it became Mr. Twinkle, because we always played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So that happened. And then
Mr. Tinkle.
Mr. Tinkle and some high school students will, they like, it's so cute. Like they figure it out and they think they're like the first ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Look at
You
you.
have second grade rhyming skills.
Funny
Good for
guy.
you.
Look at you, funny guy.
So the nice thing about that one is it's like when the kids use that one, it's usually the freshmen because they're like learning my name for the first time and thinking about what rhymes with that for the first time. That's like old news to like the older kids. So if the freshmen call me that, the older kids are like,
dude, it's like 6'7".
It's like 6'7".
It's
We left that in
past,
2025. So that one tends to die quickly. But I think I did have a good, meaningful fix with this one. But there was some of that going on in freshman band camp, right? Like early on in the year. And a student that I did not know called me that. Like, I don't interact with that student like ever. And they're like, "Hey, Mr. Tinkle." And I was like, "Wait, come here." I was like, "Wait, okay." I was like, it's July. Like, I don't really know you very well. You don't know me very well.
I could have a...
Careful, buddy. Careful. Reel that one back in. Let's not put that one out on the airwaves. I think I said, like, I probably wouldn't tease you right now because, like, I don't know you very well. I don't know, like, what hits well with you or what doesn't hit well with you. And probably would the reverse
kind of like how your synapses are not really connecting right now. That would be an example. Okay.
So I just said, like, maybe once we like know each other and if we get in like a teasing
good,
relationship, like maybe that would hit well, but like we're not there right now. So you should call me Mr. Hinkle for a while. And I don't, if I'm a freshman and I'm just like, if I listen to that, like I'm trying to put myself in that person's shoes. I'm like, am I like understanding that, or am in my head I'm going Tinkle, like what's going on? But that's like classic Jack Hinkle Ragebait is like Mr. Tinkle. And I don't know. I don't think I've ever crashed out about it. I don't really care. But I think that's a tricky one to handle because you don't want to be dismissive of it and let the kids think that that's like fine. But that's the puzzle of Ragebait. Is like, how do you shut it down without being engaging or without being dismissive, ignorant?
Well, I think that's where the semicolon comes in, where maybe you just kind of leave thoughts unfinished. And shutting down a name swap with somebody could be done in a certain way, like very direct. You don't know me. Stop saying that. I'll talk to you in November.
Okay, Mr. Tinkle.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
But using a sense of Ragebait back to them, or like a total non sequitur. Like, do you still believe that, Mr. Tinkle? Yeah, but you have to remember, I'm still not a fairy princess, and I've been working construction for 3 years, and the raw eggs are killing my stomach. And set that one out there, and just let it sit there. And one of the things will happen, be like, you're weird. And in my mind, I'm going, victory!
Yeah, right.
Like, so be careful around me, because I'm not.
Because you don't know what's coming next.
You don't know where I'm coming from. Okay, and a little unevenness.
Yeah.
Not sure what's happening, and not getting into a power struggle, but talk nonsensical. And I'm serious, like that kind of stuff.
I've seen you do it.
I've used nonsensical stuff to help kids get off the platform of raging and being silly and making things not make sense. And sometimes that works as a good distraction. It has to be like a little bit for me.
And for you young teachers that are listening, I think young teachers get rage baited easily.
Yes.
And it's not like because you're young, it's because, maybe this is my hot take, you've only ever taught with someone else watching you, and it's like you're more worried about what that person thinks than what's actually going on in your classroom, right? And you're like, well, what would this person do? What would they want me to do? I'm like, you just got to do what's best for the situation, and if you're acting with good intentions, probably the best thing's going to happen, right?
I had a student last week that wanted to call me Mr. Percocet. He was trying to be funny, but he's like Mr. Percocet, Mr. Percocet. And I was like,
wait, does he know what Percocet is?
Yeah, I think we came to that reality. But I just met him at the beginning of the calendar year, and I said, when I introduced myself, I was like, you can call me Mr. Peterson, or if you'd like to call me Mr. P, don't call me anything else. And they're like, Mr. Percocet, and I was like, okay, what's the deal here? Okay,
say my name. Wow, that I have not heard that one before.
No.
Peterson's just really hard to pronounce and remember.
Yeah, I could never think of anything that would be raging.
Never, ever.
Well, when we open up the After Hours Chops episode, that's behind a paywall.
Oh,
we could tell the stories.
I would be interested in hearing like teacher rage bait stories. That would be fun. Like if you send us your rage bait stories, we'll read them. We'll read them, and possibly on air if they're appropriate. We'd credit you. Yeah, send us your rage bait stories. Gosh, I want to hear the like ridiculous ones.
Right.
That are just like so off the cuff. But I mean, I don't think our rage bait's probably pretty minimal compared to what's out there. I don't want to act like we're woe is me or anything, but it does keep the class lively. Okay, you got anything else on Ragebait before we talk Joybait?
Yeah.
You sound so sad.
Well, no,
sad bait. Sorrow bait.
No, let's go to Joybait. Okay.
Joybait,
go.
This is a phrase that has been somewhat coined by some of my jazz band students. But it's the same concept of rage bait, except you're actually like baiting joy. It's like a happy thing. But the similarity in the Venn diagram is that they're both kind of disruptive, but you're getting joy out of it. So here's the example, and this has been going on for the last couple of weeks. But Steve used to have a screaming goat in our band classes, and Steve had a tactic that it was usually during like Isthmus season, like when things kind of felt dry, but you needed some
serious,
you needed some momentum. He would just give it to a random kid in the band, just random kid, and go, anytime you feel like the class is kind of moving slow, can you give this thing a little squeeze? And it's just like a tiny little goat, like 2 inches tall, but it's like way high pitched. So a student gifted me one of those lately, and like this is way past, like we haven't done that together for 5 years.
Sure.
Just totally random. And I was like, okay, we're bringing this back. So I've started bringing the goat out to jazz band rehearsals, and those kids have good comic timing.
Sure.
And it's good. So that is like an example of Joybait because it is like disruptive, but it's kind of funny and it builds culture. But the real part of where it gets a little wacky is that the goat itself is really quiet. So a couple students recorded it onto their phones, and then we'll play the sound. And that was like a one-time thing. But then a student, I already told you this, a student that does listen to the podcast and has purchased merch. That will tell you who it is.
Yeah.
That student bought 3 and came to school with 3 of them. So I had it in music theory. I like gave it, and then like 3 of them just
in the screaming goat
in the class started doing them at the same time, and he had already planted them throughout the kids.
Nice. And so they're going off at random times,
like with mine. So it's like together.
Nice.
But they're still doing the comic timing of it, and I was like, that's really funny. You probably shouldn't do that in like AP calculus today, but
yes.
That might not hit the same. But that's kind of funny. So that is like an example of Joybait. It's like silly stuff, but it takes time. Like it's disruptive, but it can add to the culture of the class. And that's something that like I'm okay with. Like I'm okay with taking that time, and the kids know well enough of like when to do that stuff and when not to. And it's not always the GOAT, obviously, but like it's zingers. It's random off the cuff comments when they're not raising their hand, but it's stuff that hits well and it's funny. And it like creates a little sense of a bond in the room.
That's good. I'm proud of your students.
I think I'm proud of them.
Oh, sure. That's good. Considering what kids could be doing to draw attention to themselves in class and the whole spectrum.
For example,
but kids that don't pay attention, or kids that sleep, or kids that are like checked out, or kids that don't show up, they're like coming to your class and heaven forbid they're creating a sense of joy. Well, Steve, you're wasting 20 seconds. Exactly. The payoff is worth it.
Yes, you're like, I need the 20 seconds more than you.
Exactly. It's like vitamin B12 boost. Let's go. Okay. I remember one time we were in wind ensemble. I don't know if you were in there, but I think it was April Fool's Day, but
okay.
I had gotten this April Fool's like Easter egg.
Oh yeah.
It was like full
from a resident trombone player.
Who is studying ornithology, and this bird egg was full of like dinosaurs and chickens and other birds and fence pieces and just a bunch of random stuff that were wedged into this thing. So that was like sitting on my chair when I got in, and so we were having a good time with that. And then at the same time, one of the students goes, he just stood up in the middle of class, and I think he stood on his chair. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have just been informed that there's a great flood coming to Concord High School. Everybody now go for higher ground." And the whole class stood up and stood on their chairs. Were you there?
I remember, because it's reminiscent of your vest.
It is.
Yes,
that's
the student.
with my vest.
Yes.
If you're watching the video, shout out to said student. And then I was like, what is going on? So like the kids are just like up in their chair. And then he said, "We just had communication. The water's still rising. Reach for higher ground." So the kids were like climbing over the chairs with their instruments, going up for a higher row because we have a tiered system in the band room. And the kids were just going for the highest chair possible. And it was chaos.
But it was like controlled.
Funny.
It was controlled chaos, and it was only like 3 minutes.
It was.
But it was like so wacky. I mean, obviously there was some text chain going on the day before.
Yeah.
Like some sort of planning.
Which made it more luscious.
Right.
They were all in.
But you and I had no idea what was going on. You're like, what's happening? But once it started going, you're like, okay, this is funny.
That was joy baiting.
That's Joybait. That is total Joybait.
So we got the screaming goats.
You got April Fool's Day pranks, all that stuff. I think it's worth it. And I think if you find moments to Joybait, that's real. We got to go back to the biggest Ragebait, though. I can't believe we didn't think about it, but like 6-7 is Ragebait.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like every teacher in America has gone through the chaos and the pain that was 6-7. And there are teachers that have like leaned into it because they just know it's happening. They go like so far the other way. There have been teachers that say, if I hear the letters between 5 and 8, you will be grounded into eternity and you will never see the light of day in my classroom again. It's like there's on both spectrums. And it doesn't matter which side you take, because whatever side it is, like 6-7 still annoying. And I know we're on like the back half of that. Like I know it's kind of dying out, but it was like common teacher experience. Like, what are you guys doing about 6-7? Are you doing anything? What? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like anytime a kid just like started to like do the hands thing, you're internally like cringing. You're like, no, stop. Stop it. It's like, it's total rage bait. And I think that's like a fascinating thing. And that would be a fun one to put in like a teacher simulator, like how each teacher would handle 6-7 differently. I would love to see that. I'd love to see that. And I'm sure it was worse at the elementary schools than it is at the high school.
Oh, I'm sure, and it probably still is. I got told by a junior high kid today it's not as funny now. A junior high kid told me 6-7 was not because I said 6-7 and something, and he's like, no.
You're like, victory.
I was like, yes, I've got to it.
Yeah. Little do the kids know the adults are in on it, and they're like, if we say it enough, the
Yeah,
kids will not think it's funny.
Yeah, I think that's funny. But I think it, like last fall when schools were like, you cannot say the word 6, 7. So when they did their number counting, they would skip over those. I was like, that is so luscious. Like the kids were ruling the school. The kids were like, we are going to hijack these numbers. It makes no sense.
6, 7 is ours. Next. 6, 8. Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. It's real. It's like teachers became afraid of that because like, God forbid your class laughing about something stupid and meaningless, like takes some time. God forbid.
Yeah.
But schools ended up having like 6, 7 day,
Yep.
like on the 67th day of school, right?
Yeah.
Like
In the
fine.
6th hour and the 7th minute and all this. And
Oh, I didn't know it went
yep.
that far.
Actually,
Dang.
we had it at the intermediate school. They had on the 67th day, they celebrated the 67th minute, and they gave the kids 6 or 7 seconds of freedom.
Genius.
Joke's on you.
Joke's on you, kids.
Okay, there was a situation today where we were doing some announcements at Aspire, and I said, hi, guys. Welcome back after a 3-day break. It's good to have you back. Some of you may know, some of you may not. You knew me as Mr. Peterson last week. Just want to let you know that this week I would like to be addressed as Mr. Peterson. And so I know that's going to be a change for some of you.
What?
And, you know, there's just some things that happened. So last week was Mr. Peterson. But just from now, just to make things simple, I don't really want to get into it. Just call me Mr. Peterson. You know, and that was plenty of fire for some kids. Because I had kids coming up to my desk like, what's going on with your name?
What'd you say?
I was like, that is cheap fun. I mean, that costs nothing. And it's like really not even that creative.
Is this you rage baiting them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just more like talking about the sentences that make no sense.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
yeah. Just something.
total nonsense.
So did you lean into it when they asked you? You're like, I just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's kinda
It's
right now."
personal.
You were doing this for like a little bit.
Yeah.
back
And
forth.
the other teacher at the front of the room was in with me too. She caught on. I was like, yeah.
Okay.
So playing along with it.
Were some of the kids like did they sniff it out and they're like, guys, he's just being stupid? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
But it got really quiet.
Fascinating.
I think you need to do
Wait,
stuff.
did you get divorced and then remarry someone else who was also named Peterson? Is that? That's crazy. You found somebody. They're probably like writing you like a really long email, like, "Hey, just hoping you're okay. I've been thinking about you a lot. Just want to make sure if you need anything, like, let me know."
I think it's okay to talk silly to your students.
I think I would hate my job if I didn't ever do that.
You need to do that.
Gotta do that.
And for those of you that are in grade school, I'm sure that like comes naturally because younger kids do such a wonderful job of being silly naturally. I don't think I could teach 3rd grade because I think I would
I think you could.
I would for like 30 minutes and I'd get
And now we sing a simple song.
Shut up, Darnell. If I would just get it all stirred up and could not get it calmed down.
You would need a co-teacher, but like you get the first 20 minutes and then other co-teacher gets the next 6 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, to bring it down. I could do that. I could rev it up. But then I think that the fun is, or the puzzle is, I think it's hard, but I think you need to do it. Like the expectation of adolescence is, you don't look at me, I won't look at you. You don't talk to me, I won't talk to you. Right? You get out of my space, kind of like this Bravo material, and they, get away from me kind of thing. Right? But everybody's just a few years away from being a 12-year-old. I mean, you're not that far away. You're closer to being 12 than you are 21. So let's, you're a kid, and things will be funny, and we can push some things around, and some people won't go for it, and some people will think it's stupid, which is fine. But there'll be some people that will and will enjoy it, and some people will be confused, which is almost better. They'll walk away going, "What was going on today?"
Yeah. Then they're talking about it. They're thinking.
They're talking about class.
Yes. No, that's real. Gosh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
I may have to steal that. That's it.
That's it?
Well, I think so.
Okay.
Ragebait, Joybait. Are you ragebaiting me right now? That's it, Jack? Gee, really?
Gee, Jack, I
Is that
bet
all
your
you
side.
come up with? You must think you're really smart, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Steve's favorite tactic, though, I shouldn't say it's your favorite, but it's one you taught me that I like, is that just you go, just let it hang out there.
If somebody says something to you?
Yeah, like if a kid says something kind of rage baity, like they're trying to just like get a rise out of you, and you just like look at them, like you acknowledge that they said that, and then you just do nothing and turn around. That's a good one.
That's powerful. That's powerful. That's attention getting.
It works well with adults too.
That works really well, I think.
Because the adults have a little more empathy, and then they immediately start to feel bad. They want to reel it back in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just kind of let that one sit out there.
It works beautifully. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's it.
Yeah, I wish I could talk more, but there's just things that are not appropriate to put on the air, but some like really funny things that weren't supposed to be funny, but turned into funny things, but I can't talk about them. So I'm rage baiting the listeners now.
Listeners, find Steve on Venmo and then Venmo him, and we'll call that our Patreon page, and then he'll tell you all the
stories.
That's not true. Don't Venmo him. He likes PayPal better.
Okay, I just want to go back 1 second to like when I was in kindergarten or first grade. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I was baited by my brother. Shocking. I have two older brothers. Oh. Okay. Yes. Yeah. They were 4 and 6 years older. So I was going to elementary school, Concord East Side, and I was either like in kindergarten or first grade. My brother Andy was in 5th grade at the time. And his teacher was named Steve Peterson, identical name to me. And so Steve Peterson taught 5th grade science and math. And so my brother Andy said, Steve, like he saw me in the hallway. He's like, Steve, you should go up to Mr. Peterson and say, hi, Steve Peterson. He'll think it's really funny. And so I'm like, okay. So I see Mr. Peterson in the hallway later, and I go, hi, Steve Peterson. My name's Steve Peterson, too. And that did not, I'll just say it did not land well. And I was in tears. And I was embarrassed.
Didn't punch Steve. He's fine.
No, he's fine. But it made it clear that I will not call him by his first name. But my brother set me up, and he was probably watching the whole thing.
That's kind of like rage baitception, because your brother baited you, but then you baited the teacher. Right? Because, like, I don't know. I think okay, first of all, did the teacher know your name was actually Steve Peterson, or did he just think that was, like, you being weird?
He probably just thought I was a weirdo.
Yeah.
Probably still does.
Could see it.
No.
Well, I'm just like, if that happened today and like you actually knew the kid was like the same name as you, you'd be like, huh, that's wild. Hey, call me Mr. Peterson, but that's kind of crazy. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
That's all it had to be.
Yeah.
But baited by brother, which like classic.
Right.
But
and that was,
you're not going to call me Steve Peterson.
That was like 50 years ago. Right.
So he probably went to like smoke a cigarette in the staff room when he was done with. I heard
love that guy. Great teacher. Great teacher. Still around in the community. Retired. Legend.
Gosh, would he be on the podcast?
Ooh, Steve Peterson.
Two
Steve
Petersons
on
Petersons.
A podcast.
Teaching in the 80s versus teaching in the 2020s.
Yeah, people used to call my house when we had landlines and say, hello? Steve? This is Marilyn. I just wondered if you could, you'd have time to plow my driveway this week. I'm like, you got the wrong Steve Peterson. I'm the jazz band director. But he had a snow removal and landscape business.
Oh.
So people would get it taught. They'd come to me. I don't know if anybody ever
come
to him looking for a jazz band clinician.
Barry sax player. I don't know who you think I am. I just imagine he's got like just like really angry, like I don't know him at all. There it is.
Okay, if you like what you hear, Pigeons for all. So, if you like what you hear, please hit the like button and subscribe to our socials. We appreciate your feedback. If teachers out there, if you have any questions, things you want to hear us talk about, or engage in dialogue, please let us know by contacting us through direct message.
Yes, and make sure if you have not rated or reviewed the podcast on Apple or Spotify, that you do so immediately.
Okay, so for Steve Peterson
and Jack Hinkle,
we're out of here.